Boys and girls, I'm very excited to teach you how to draw into the third dimension today. It's something that's going to help your art look realistic. You know how we've talked about real versus abstract. Learning how to draw in the third dimension helps you add some realness to your art, okay? So let's start. We're going to be making buildings for our mural. So let's start with just the basic shapes of a house that you might do. Ever since we were little, we've learned to make a house by making a triangle and a square or a rectangle, right? That's just a basic house. Now, if we want to make that go into the third dimension, it's easy once you get the hang of it. It might take you a few tries to get the hang of it though. You are going to make some diagonal lines and you want them all to go the same direction. So I'm going to make one diagonal line starting at that top part of the roof there, and I'm going to make mine go to the right. So that's diagonal. Now I'm going to make another one right here where the roof meets the base of the house. It's going to be another diagonal that goes the same way as the other one. And then one more here at the bottom of the house. One more diagonal that goes that same way. Okay, then you just have to connect the lines. I'm going to make a straight line to connect those and kind of a triangle or an angled line to connect those. There we go. Now I've got a house. I can add doors. I can add some decorations on the roof. Let's try another one. So we make a triangle and a square, and then we need to make 3 diagonal lines, one at the top, one in the middle there where those lines meet, and one at the very bottom, and then you connect them with straight lines. There we go. And I'm going to decorate this one a little bit different. I'm going to do some zigzags on my roof. Okay, let's try another one. You can make these go totally different directions. So I'm going to show you how you can make one having it be 3D the opposite direction. I've got my square and my triangle. Now, instead of making my lines go that way, and that way, I'm going to make my first one from the top go the opposite way. Then I have to go down to this corner and this corner, and all those diagonals go the same way, and then we connect and connect. Ta-da! You could make small skinny ones. So if you've got your little skinny rectangle, you don't have to make the horizontal line or the diagonal line go out so far. It could be a tiny little boop, 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 and then you connect it. So then that's like a tall and skinny house. You can make it be super long. So I'm just gonna start with my normal little house, but I can make the diagonals go like crazy long, and this could be a really long barn, right? You can get super creative with them. You can experiment with all sorts of different designs, okay? I do want to show you one more thing, and that's how you could make one without a roof, because we might want to make some city buildings in our mural. So we know a tall skyscraper is just a rectangle, and we're not going to add the triangle roof on top like a house. The same thing's going to happen here. We need to make some diagonal lines. So I'm going to start at that top corner. The thing that's going to be new this time is that since there's not a pointed one at the top, we need to add it to this other top corner. So I'm going to do that same diagonal that direction, and then one at the bottom. Then again, you just connect the lines. Make a straight line to connect those. Straight line to connect these, and there's your skyscraper. You can make windows, you get the idea. So again, let me show you another just square building or rectangle building without a roof. You make your rectangle, and then your 3 diagonal lines are going to be out at the top. I'll go the other direction, top, and then make one here, bottom. Straight lines to connect them. Ta-da! There's our 3D buildings. So I want you to just fill a page with as many styles of buildings as you can create in your little head. You can add like a chimney to them and some smoke coming out. You could add, what else could you add? Like a brick pattern. You can, I don't know, make a candy cane forest. You can add all sorts of things. Make a little mailbox coming out. Once you feel like you have the hang of making houses and buildings that look 3D, we're going to be ready to start making our actual pieces for the mural. So this is just a practice sheet for you. You can take it home, have fun with it. We need to make some bigger houses and buildings for our community mural. So on this paper, first I just need to decide, am I going to make it a house building or a office building? I'll do a house one first, okay? You're going to be able to make 2 buildings each. I'm hoping you'll make 2. So I'm gonna start with my house shape. I'm making mine a tall and skinny house. You could make yours kind of fatter if you want. Oh, that's a weird roof. Or anyway, we'll have different shapes and sizes. So I do want it to be at least half of the paper tall, so I don't want to see any like tiny little houses that are only that big. Okay, they need to be pretty big for our group mural. But okay, so I've got my house shape. I'm gonna make my diagonal lines. It's harder to do it big once you're used to doing it small, but I believe in you. Make my straight lines to connect. There's my roof, and then, oops, I forgot the bottom of my house. Okay, then I'm going to make my designs on it. I'll go ahead and fast forward this part. All right, so there is the design of my house all finished. Then the last thing that you're going to do is add some little colorful details with some oil pastels. You will not be coloring in the whole house with pastels. This is just to add some fun little decorations. We're going to be painting the houses next time. So this time, all I want you to do is maybe choose, 2 or 3 colors. I like this purple, this orange is kind of nice, maybe a green. And just choose a few things to add some detail to. So I might trace this line in this green. Ooh, that's a nice color. And maybe one here too. Maybe color in a couple of windows, but not all of the windows. Again, we're not trying to make everything be colored with these oil pastels. They're just gonna be a fun little pop of color, a fun little detail that's different from the paint. Maybe now I'll switch to this orange. Maybe I'll do the middle window orange. Oh, it's kind of an orange red. And this just adds some varieties. That's one thing in art. If you do everything kind of the same, it can be a little bit boring looking. But if you add some color, some pops of colors in different places, it adds some variety and makes it more interesting to look at. And it also helps people who are looking at your art know where to look. It helps their eyes move all around because they'll be like, oh, look, that's red. My attention goes there. Oh, wow, look over here. And the colors kind of lead their eyes all around to really appreciate your art that you've made. So the more variety we can add, the better. I think I'm gonna just like outline this house in purple. You choose. Do color in a couple of bricks. Make, I don't know, you might have totally different decorations than I do. You can color in a heart up there. But for me, this looks like enough color. Again, the paint is going to be the main source of color. So I just added these little pops. That's enough for me. And I'm going to move on to my second building or house. Try to make 2 that look totally different from each other. Today, this will probably be all that we have time to do. If you happen to finish your houses a little bit early, you could cut it out. We'll be cutting them out with scissors so that there's no background on here. So if you finish early, cut them out, but if not, all I'm hoping that you'll get done is a nice little 2 building outlines with a little bit of pop of color with your oil pastels. Great, can't wait to see what you make.